Hello again, poetry lovers. This is Jim Ransom with another edition of your weekend poetry reading. I'll start by apologizing for missing a session last week. And that happened due to a fall I had when the electrical circuits in my heart were wild for a moment. And I fell unconscious to the floor, causing an alarming amount of bruising and bleeding. You can still see some evidence of this on the screen, I'm sure, and I apologize for that. But now I'm scheduled to get a pacemaker for my heart in 3 days, which should, I hope, put a stop to such shenanigans. Today I'm going to read some poems by American Indian poets, also known as Native Americans. For those of you who are more woke than I am, these are poets who can take the folk tales of their tribes and in many cases turn them into poetry. We'll start with a poem by a 3-time poet laureate of America, Joy Harjo, who is a member of the Creek Indian tribe and was born in Oklahoma. Where else would a Creek Indian be born? She graduated from the University of New Mexico and then got an MFA degree from the Iowa Writers Workshop. The Iowa Writers Workshop was begun shortly after I graduated from the University of Iowa, and while I was at medical school in Iowa City. So it's been going on for quite a long time, and has been a very successful process for writers. Let's start with what Joy Harjo calls her eagle poem. To pray, you open your whole self to sky, to earth, to sun, to moon, to one whole voice that is you, and know there is more that you can't see, can't hear. Can't know, except in moments steadily growing, and in languages that aren't always sound, but other circles of motion. Like eagle that Sunday morning over Salt River, circled in blue sky, in wind, swept our hearts clean with sacred wings. We see you. We see ourselves and know that we must take the utmost care and kindness in all things. Breathe in, knowing that we are made of all this, and breathe, knowing we are truly blessed because we were born, and die soon within a true circle of motion. Like eagle rounding out the morning inside us, we pray that it will be done in beauty. In beauty. Well, that's really a quite beautiful poem, I think. And then here's another one by Joy Harjo. This one's called Ah, Ah. Ah, ah, cries the crow, arching toward the heavy sky over the marina. Lands on the crown of the palm tree. Ah, ah, slaps the urgent cove of ocean swimming through the slips. We carry canoes to the edge of the salt. Ah, ah, groans the crew with the weight, the winds cutting skin. We claim our seats. Pelicans perch in the draft for fish. Ah, ah, beats our lungs, and we are racing into the waves. Though there are worlds below us and above us, we are straight ahead. Ah, ah, tattoos the engines of your plane against the sky away from these waters. Each paddle stroke follows the curve from reach to loss. Ah, ah, calls the sun from a fishing boat with a pale yellow sail. We fly by on our return, over the net of eternity thrown out for stars. Ah, ah, scrapes the whole of my soul. Ah, ah. That's a very original and very nice poem, I think. Critics say that Joy Harjo is frequently preoccupied by death. I haven't read all of her poems, so I can't really attest to that. But you can see from these poems that she also celebrates life, a dichotomy that makes her poems rich and diverse, in my opinion. To finish up, we will read a poem by another poet of Indian heritage, whose name is N. Scott Momaday. His father was a Kiowa Indian, and his mother was of mixed European and Cherokee blood. He was raised throughout the Southwest on several reservations where the parents were teachers. Excuse me. Like Harjo, he got a BA from the University of New Mexico, but then went on to get an MFA and PhD from Stanford. His first publication was a novel, House Made of Dawn, way back in 1968. But he's also a poet. He has published several books of poetry as well. And the first one I'm going to read, well, the only one of his that I'm going to read, is called The Delight Song of Tsoitali. The Delight Song of Tsoitali by M. Scott Momaday. I am a feather on the bright sky. I am the blue horse that runs on the plain. I am the fish that rolls, shining in the water. I am the shadow that follows a child. I am the evening light, the luster of meadows. I am an eagle playing with the wind. I am a cluster of bright beads. I am the farthest star. I am the cold of dawn. I am the roaring of the rain. I am the glitter on the crust of the snow. I am the long track of the moon in a lake. I am a flame of 4 colors. I am a deer standing away in the dusk. I am a field of sumac and the pomme blanche. I am an eagle of geese in the winter sky. I am the hunger of a young wolf. I am the whole dream of these things. You see, I am alive. I am alive. I stand in good relation to the earth. I stand in good relation to the gods. I stand in good relation to all that is beautiful. I stand in good relation to the daughters of Tsintinti. You see, I am alive. I am alive. That's a very impressive poem, I think, by M. Scott Momaday. And I notice in my reading about him and in reading his poetry that one of his strengths is his ability to combine European verse forms and Native American objects or subjects. I'll let you be the judges, but I certainly recommend reading more of both the works of Joy Harjo and N. Scott Momaday. It is worth it. Bye now, and I hope the residual scars and wounds and bruises on my face will be gone by the next time I visit with you and read some more poetry. Enjoy the beginning of winter and go do some Christmas gift shopping, preferably at a bookstore that has a lot of books of poetry. Bye now.